Well, it says we're live. I have no idea. The first, in case you're wondering what's going on, we went live like normal at 1 o'clock, and it started freezing up and buffering, and the comments weren't coming through, so I tried to restart it. But so far, oh, there's Bruce Ducker, so somebody's back. I have no idea. It's just call it the Rosa curse. That's all I can tell you. It's just unbelievable. You can't win for losing. That's all I can tell you for sure. There's Ronald. Let's see. 22 viewers, it says. Well, I don't know what caused it. I have zero idea what caused it. As far as I could tell, I didn't do anything different than normal. I restarted everything here all the way back to the internet provider and turned everything off, turned it all back on. Well, except for this computer. I didn't do that because that would have taken a while. So I didn't turn off the computer, but I turned off everything up to the computer, or outside of the computer, I guess you'd say. And we got it restarted. It looks like we're back. I'm going to go ahead and pretend like this never happened and just do it again. So I've already mentioned, that I went to the doctor today, and it was just my regular doctor for a regular checkup type thing, and it was a total waste of time. So I'm not going to bore you with that one. But as far as I can tell, the kidney stone might still be there, but I was trying to not take the pain pill until I can tell for sure. And the longer I sit, the longer I think it might still be there. I don't think it's passed yet, but I'm just going to pretend like it's passed and keep moving. I'm going to go ahead and just make this a complete vlog from start to finish. So some of this you're going to see over again. I'm sorry, but apparently it was buffering anyway. So I don't know what was good and what was bad. So I'm just going to do it all. So here we go. Here's the first video. Working on the shop, trying to clean it up still. And one thing that I know for sure that I say all the time, and probably most people think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not exaggerating at all. Almost every single container that you see that's been sitting for any length of time, 5 minutes, no, it's not going to be that case. But if it's been sitting there for 2 or 3 days or a week or a month, you can bet you're going to find a brown recluse in it. And that's what's here. Right here is a brown recluse. I don't know if he's still alive or not. I thought he was alive, but I guess he's not. I think he is alive. He's just playing dead. Yeah, he's just playing dead. Look at him. There he is. And in case you can't tell, I'll try to take a close-up and show you a close-up picture. That is definitely a brown recluse. You'll see the fiddle on the back. And as I said the first time, I couldn't get directly over him because it blocked the light, and you couldn't see it very well anyway. But if you look there toward the head on the left, if you look at the back there, it does look a little bit like a fiddle, though if you can see it up close, it definitely looks like a fiddle. And then that little line that you see going back towards his rear end from that little brown blob, that would be the neck of the fiddle. And it actually looks like a fiddle when you can see it up close and clear, but I couldn't get as good a picture as I was hoping. As I mentioned in the first vlog that we were trying to do, I've been bitten 3 times. The first time was really bad, really hot. It melted ice just instantly when you would put it on there. Like within 10-20 minutes, all the ice pack would be completely melted. That lasted for almost 3 days. The second time I got bit, it was on my arm or hand or something. I can't remember now where that one was. But anyway, it didn't last very long. It only lasted like a day or so, and it pretty much went away. It was a very mild reaction. The third one was on my stomach, and I felt it in my clothes. I lifted up my shirt, and sure enough, a brown recluse fell out. And anyway, that one was like a mosquito bite. It hardly bothered me at all. The I've also told this before on the vlog before that I've also been bitten by a daddy longleg spider. People don't believe that they can bite. There's several myths. The first myth is that it's the deadliest spider there is, that it'll kill you. It's the most deadly venom of any spider on the planet, which is total baloney. It's just absolutely baloney. It's just totally false. But the other false thing is that they aren't able to bite a human because their mouth parts are too small or whatever. Well, I'm here to tell you for sure, firsthand, absolutely black and white, 100%, I got bit by a daddy long-legged spider. It was on my arm, again I think it was on this same arm. I was underneath the car, underneath my wife's truck, actually, wiring up the horse trailer, and I felt something on my arm, and I thought it was a mosquito bite, and because you know how mosquito, you can feel it, and you reach over and you slap it, That's exactly what it felt like. It felt just like a mosquito bite. And I look over, and it's a daddy longlegs, and he's got his legs all pulled up, and his head, or whatever you want to call it's right there on my arm, and you can tell he's biting me. And so anyway, I just slapped him off, like that. And that only lasted a couple hours. I would say that was probably 6 o'clock in the evening or afternoon. And then by 10 o'clock that night, it was pretty much gone. So I'm here to tell you, you definitely can get bitten by a daddy long-legged spider, and they are definitely not the most deadly poisonous spider on the planet. So there you go. Here's another little video of just some of the stuff that I do and I never film. Here's just another little project that I do on the side. I just did this morning. This used to be brass. There used to be brass threads in that handle right there. I can't really hold the camera and point to it and all that at the same time. But anyway, the handle had brass threads. Well, those threads twisted off. So I drilled out the inside of the handle and threaded it for M8 1.25 threads. So that's fixed. It doesn't have to, don't even have to have the handle, but it's handy to hold onto that with so much pressure on this thing that it has, because I put a stronger pump on this thing. It has a lot of pressure, and therefore using two hands is so much better than one. But those are the kinds of little projects that I just do left and right around here, just constantly. And, I never show, so I just thought I'd at least show you the product there. Yeah, and that pressure washer, just another little bit of information is, it said there on that little panel, if you read what it said on the pressure washer, it said 2,400 PSI, but I put a 3,000 PSI pump on it later. The original pump wore out, so I just bought a heavier pump put on there, and it works great. Let's see. Here is the other video that I think it died in the middle of this video, so I'll show it again. Here we go. Well, my friends, this light is an overhead light, and every time I turned it on, it was going dim, but now that I've taken it down and knocked some of the cobwebs off of it, it seems to be working okay. It's actually working. So while it's working, I'm going to take some of this super clean and clean off the rest of it here. This was nasty, man. I'm seriously telling you, there was creeping crud all over this thing. Yeah, it looks a lot better. It's amazing that it's staying on now. Like I said, it wouldn't stay on at all before. So I guess I'll plug it in back up there and see if it's still working. Well, I got her reinstalled, as you can see, and there it goes, doing it again. Wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you know? I can't catch a break. It's so dumb. The whole time I had it on the bench, it didn't do that. I put it up there, have it up there for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and it starts that. What a pain. I cannot catch a break. Let's see. So if I turn it off here, it's so weird. Could it be in the electric? I doubt it. I mean, it's been plugged in there forever. Uh-oh. See? It's weird. Look at that. Isn't that weird? Let me unplug it. I'll try plugging it in the other place. Yeah. Isn't that fancy? I can't even describe stuff like that. I don't see how stuff like that happens. It just seems like it happens to me constantly like this. I have another one in the other room in there that's doing a very similar thing. And then you turn it on that one, and sometimes it just works fine, and the next time it does this kind of thing. So it's like, what do you do? I hate to just throw stuff like this away and replace it, because it's just more in a landfill. I wish I knew how to fix it. I'd fix it, because I don't like throwing stuff away. But I don't know how to fix it either. Yeah, there you go. Well, I guess it won't hurt to tear it apart. I have a feeling it's in this end down here. There's this one that's kind of like a yellow one. The rest of them aren't that way. And when I say yellow, it looks yellow to me. But then again, I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't think the other ones have that. I'm going to go look and see if I can see a off-colored one on the ends of these others. Oh, this is a different kind altogether. This one here, I don't see any weird colors at the end. They look bright white. Yeah, this is the only one that's got that weird yellow colored one on the end. So I'm going to take it apart and see if I can figure out what that might be. Maybe I can bypass that one light and maybe it'll work. Well, this time when I plug it in down here, it's doing the same thing it did up there. I don't know. So that's the yellow one right there. So I'm going to take it apart and see what happens. Well, I got the end cap off, and I can still see this one that's yellow here. I don't know if that shows up in the camera or not. But when I pulled the end cap off, it's working. So is there some kind of a short here or something in these wires? I don't know. I'm going to investigate. Well, my friends, I've monkeyed with it for 15 or 20 minutes and never once has it dimmed. So I put it back together. I'm going to just go ahead and put it back up there and watch it dim again, because that's what'll happen, because that's my typical luck. It's so weird. I just don't get how this stuff happens. Well, there you go, my friends. It's a self-healing light. I really didn't do anything other than take it apart, put it back together. Now, you know, and I know, that's just going to last long enough to be aggravating. But it's working right now, so I'm going to call that good for now. And it's still working. That was a couple of days ago, and I've used it a lot since then, and it's been working the whole time. So I don't know. You can't explain things like that around here. And yeah, I know that LEDs go bad, the individual lights. That's why I was picking on that one that was yellow. I figured it was probably bad, but on the other hand, it started working again. So it's still yellow, so I don't get it. Why? Anyway, it's probably just going to go out again eventually. Kind of like this next thing that I'm going to show you, which is right here. Well, my friends, I put the new capacitor in this and it works perfectly. It's quite possible that the old motor would have worked if I had put the new capacitor in it. But when I took the old motor apart, I found wires that weren't in good shape. So I'm not really sad about replacing the motor. It only costs $60 for a new motor. This is supposed to be a new old stock motor. So, but watch how nice it turns on now. Just
So I've got her plugged in. Let's just turn it on now. I don't know why that's spinning other than there's a fan turning on the ceiling overhead. I think it's just out of balance a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to turn it on. Watch how nice it starts. Starts very easily now. So I think that solved that problem. So for about $69, we have a new heavy-duty fan. I could have bought a brand new one from Harbor Freight for $129, but there's no chance it would be as heavy-duty as this one is. So I'm happy with what we did.
Yeah. You notice that video didn't get edited. I forgot to plug it in, which is typical. But anyway, it works fine now, and I did put it all back together, and it is down in the barn and cooling off the horses. So, again, there's just tons of stuff like that that gets fixed around here every single day. It's just nuts. You wouldn't believe it unless you were here to see it. And here's my final little video clip for you for this morning. Well, my friends, I've made progress on the mini excavator here. I had to make two different adapters. One here to fit a crazy foreign type connector. I don't even know what you call it, but it goes from a pipe thread out of this thing to a 22 by 1.5, and on the inside it has to have a tapered fitting so that this cone on the end of this can go in there and close. I also had to make an adapter there to fit from again the 22 1.5 millimeter up to pipe thread. So I had to make those two adapters. And now that I've done that, actually I'm going to end up taking this one out, this adapter out, and putting it over here, and the end of that hose over here also. It's got to be wrapped around through here, and it should have enough hose to reach. I have to find a way to mount this. This is a cooler. This cools the oil off, and there's a fan blowing through here. And then I'm going to have to make a separate hose with adapters from here all the way around and then back into this. So this hose here comes off and goes over there, and then I got to go from back there all the way over to here. So I got to make one hose for this with the appropriate fittings, and I have to get that mounted in place, and then I'm pretty much done. It's complicated, but it's not too terribly bad now that I've got it kind of lined out in my head and I know what I have to do. Yeah, so that's what my plan is for this afternoon, assuming that this kidney stone pain doesn't come back too strong. I have a feeling that when we're done here, I'm going to go ahead and take the next pain pill because I don't think it's passed. I can kind of feel something, but I don't know. I'm going to wait until it starts to hurt. I feel something, but I'm going to wait till it starts to hurt before I take another pain pill, because I don't want to keep taking the darn things if it's finally passed. I know yesterday it had not passed yet. I know for sure because it was hurting bad at different times of the day yesterday. But anyway, that's just, I wish it would just hurry up and pass because I got lots to do, as you can probably tell. And by the way, that's just some of the videos that I had taken over the last weekend. You know, there was a lot more. If I'd have had more time to get ready for today's vlog, I would have shown you a lot more. Anyway, let's see. Let's go into the comments now and see what's going on in our second vlog of the day. Bruce Ducker was the first one in on the second vlog here. Bill Momo says hi, and then Ronald says you're back, and Newton Horn says you're back. Well, I didn't really go anywhere. It's just that the powers that be decided to kill the vlog somehow. Let's see. Bill Rose says, Jerry, check your emails. I sent you some research that I did. Okay. I I'm trying to remember, was it Bill Rhodes that I sent that bracelet to? I'm pretty sure, I didn't even think about this, but, I have the biggest hands in terms of length of fingers and all that on the planet for a guy my size. I mean, there's guys that are bigger than me that'll have bigger hands, but for a guy that's 6 foot tall, my hands are crazy huge. But my wrists, on the other hand, on the other side of the coin, are tiny. My absolute they're tiny. They're like little girl wrists. It's like a total defect thing. I'm not kidding you. My wrists are tiny. You put on like a man's wristwatch and it just spins around and falls down my arm. So I had taken a bunch of links. I hadn't thought about that copper bracelet that I said I would send to somebody. I think it was Bill Rhodes that I sent it to. He probably couldn't wear it because I had taken like 3 links out of it to make it fit, and it was still loose on me. And I bet he can't even get it snapped. So if that was you, Bill, comment about that. Did the bracelet even fit? Probably didn't. Okay, Ronald is got a question mark. Says it ain't easy being you, and it ain't easy following you. Well, I could believe that today, especially. Ronald Todd says, okay, we're back. And Ronald says, and I always remember you were better once, but you're getting over it. Yeah, that's pretty much the story of my whole life. I was better, but I'm getting over it. Ronald Todd, everything went haywire when you were talking about the heat from the bite. Okay. Well, there you go. Michael Terrazzi says Gremlins, definitely Gremlins. It's probably the ghost of Bob. It's probably what it is. Wade Hampton says, hello, Jerry and friends from sunny 100-degree Glendale, Arizona. I hope you are feeling better. A lot of us have been worried about it. Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Wade. I don't feel too terribly bad as long as the pain medicine keeps the pain under control. And like I said, I'm kind of experimenting by not taking the pill. I haven't taken a pain pill since about 10:30 last night. Ronald Todd says, no rating emojis today. Well, I don't even know what that is. So we've got those crowns, those number 3, number 1, and all that's still on there. If you're not seeing that, I'm seeing it on my side at least. Let's see. Bruce Ducker, Jerry, did you check the wiring of the J box? Bob might have wired it. Well, actually, he probably did wire it originally, but the fact that it has the 3-prong plug on it, I'm pretty sure I redid it, so I don't think it's wired incorrectly. Now, the wire was exposed, which was already exposed when I started messing with it, so, I didn't bother trying to hide it, but on the other hand, I know it's wired correctly. I pretty much rewired everything in that whole shop down there. Had to. It was just pathetic. It was really pathetic. Nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing. 0 was grounded. Nothing was grounded. And I don't mean, and I'm talking in the barn, I'm talking in the machine shed, in the other outbuildings, in this house. Not one single thing anywhere was grounded. There was not a ground rod in the ground anywhere. And that's the truth. I mean, like we would have the first, year we were here, you'd have lightning storms and things. And it would, those wall warts, the things that you plug in, the transformers that you plug into the wall, those little, we call them wall warts in the computer world. Well, anyway, every one of those would get blown out every time we'd have a lightning storm. I mean, it'd blow them out. And then like my dish receiver got blown out, and I don't know, there was a bunch of things that would get blown out. And I'm going, what the heck's causing this? So I started looking into it. There wasn't any grounds on anything, anywhere. So I went to the store and bought a whole bunch of ground rods and grounded pretty much everything everywhere. You can't make the stuff up. I'm seriously telling you, it was pathetic. I've never seen anybody that had less knowledge and should not. I mean, like you can't pick anybody on the planet that should not have been doing this more than Bob. Bob was the one that should never have touched electric in his whole life. He was that guy. He should never have touched it. Whew, it was pitiful. Pitiful. Jerry Show says, it's LED. It's going bad. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm saying, but it's still working, so I'm just going to let it go until it dies, I guess. Bruce Ducker says, I have found that some LED strips go bad for no reason. Well, again, apparently that's what's going on. Russell Allen, Jerry, I thought I was going to watch after your vlog was over as usual, but to my surprise, I was only a couple of minutes behind. Glad to see you're doing better. Well, thanks. Happy Mike TV doesn't have any question marks, but he says, hey, I just wanted to say weeks ago you said you would not recommend trying a neck reset on a vintage Yamaha. I can say now, yes, it is a fact, a B to do. Also would not recommend. Yeah, they're with the if they definitely have the epoxy, you're in for a fight. You can get it done. I mean, anything's possible, but it ain't no pleasant experience. A neck reset on one that's done correctly. When I say correctly, it's all a matter of what you call correct, but you know what I'm saying. The ones that are put together with the kind of glue that you can take apart, when they're done that way, those are tough to do. But ones with epoxy, they're next to impossible to do. You pretty much just cut your way through it, saw your way through it pretty much. David Tharp, helpful hint. Jerry says when you are cooking kale, try adding a little coconut oil. It helps to slide out of the pan when you scrape it into the compost pile. That's a really good idea, because that way you don't have that residue left on your pan either, and you make sure you get every bit of it in the compost pile. Russell Allen, LED lights are very sensitive to voltage changes. There may be some oxidation on the contact somewhere. It's possible. David Tharp, yesterday I heard music coming from my printer. It was a paper jam. Woohoo! Hope you joined in. Let's see. James Aker says those look like E.T.'s hands, long fingers. Yeah, they are like that. I mean, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you I have tiny wrists. I mean, like they're smaller than any man. I mean, like no man has wrists this tiny, and especially with fingers that big. It's just. Yeah, what's wrong with this picture? It's just something's messed up, that's for sure. I'm telling you, I am not kidding you when I tell you I am a genetic defect. I'm not making it up. I believe it when I say it. I mean, I completely believe it. Russell Allen says, David Tharp, spread some peanut butter on your printer to make that paper jam better. Let's see. Bill Rhodes, yeah, Jerry, it just barely fits. The bracelet just barely fits. I could use those extra links. Well, they are in the trash and gone long time ago, because I knew when I took them out, I wasn't going to put them back in. I was going to I had intended to throw the thing away. I knew it wasn't going to work for me, period. So I didn't wear it long. I wore it that whole weekend like I promised. I wore it 24/7, and yeah, there you go. Well, I mean 24/4 actually. I wore it. See, I started wearing it Wednesday night, and I wore it through Sunday morning, I guess, or maybe, yeah, something like that. Or Anyway, I wore it that full length of time. David Tharp, heat causes things to expand. I don't have a weight problem. I'm just hot. Well, I'm right there with you on that one. I'm really hot all the time, so that's got to be my problem too. Ronald Todd, gotta love the fish hook connections. That's how he wired the house. If you're new and you haven't heard the story about Bob, that is how he wired connections inside of those metal boxes. Instead of putting them, twisting them like this and putting a wire nut on them, which would tighten them down perfectly tight and they would never cause a problem, he didn't do that. He made 2 fish hooks, exactly like I'm showing you right there. That's how he did it, and then he taped it. Like I said, if there was ever anybody on the planet that should not ever touch electric, it was Bob. Ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. Let's see. Simon says, don't know if my comment got through first time. I contracted gout. I had no idea just how excruciatingly painful gout is. Ew. I felt like my foot was on fire. I'm now back in Medal, 7 days, R&R. Wow. Well, good luck with that one. That's not good. I don't know much about that, but I know it can't be good. Rod Wintler, I was there the first time, got you back now. Hope the likes from the first time come through. Well, if you wouldn't mind clicking that like, that does definitely help. It tells the algorithm, or it tells YouTube, that people think that there is value to the video. If you don't think there's any value to the video, well, then don't click like. But if you do think there's some value, if you're getting some out of it, then click like. On any video, not just mine, but any video you're watching, click like on it if you like the video. James Akers, I can relate to Bob's ability with electrical work. I've been electrocuted twice by someone that's colorblind. That's how we found out they were colorblind. That's crazy. Well, I'm colorblind, obviously, but I've never had a problem wiring stuff. I mean, it's pretty obvious which wires go where. Like I said, the only colorblind test I ever passed in my whole life, the only one, was the one to get into Southwestern Bell. Back when I hired on to Bell, they had their own medical examiner that you came in for a physical right at the company. It was in the company building. And then after he gave me my physical, then he says, here, we're going to test you for, color. And so he hands me this great big cable, and there were hundreds of wires in this cable. He says, match up 3 different colors. Well, I just picked the ones I could see real good, I could have matched most of them, to be truthful, but even though I'm colorblind, I can still compare 2 things and say those are the same or they're not. Now, not 100%. I will have to agree that it's probably not 100%, but I would say 80% for sure that I could do that. And so, like, if there was 100 in there, there's probably 80 of them I could have matched up without any problem. So I don't know. I don't know how to explain color blindness. It's crazy. But that's the only colorblind test I ever passed in my life. He goes, okay, you pass. Kim Williford, you missed me, Jerry, and I have a question before my comment. Well, Kim, I don't think I've seen you on here at all. And again, I have to tell you, and I've said this before, this thing I'm looking at is not the actual YouTube comments. This program brings the comments in. So if it didn't bring it in, I didn't, it's the program. It's not me. I didn't miss it on purpose, that's for sure. Sidecar Bob, your shop is looking much tidier, but knit as empty as mine. Not as empty as mine, I guess. I'll know tomorrow when the crew are coming to remove the raised floor and deal with the mold. Yeah, well, you got a different kind of issue going on there. That ain't no fun. Yeah, Bill Mumble says, I can't see your post either, but I'm talking about this program brings the chat in on its own. It's not the same as looking at the YouTube chat page. It's very similar, but it's not the exact same thing. I didn't know until recently that apparently it misses a few comments. So it's not me missing them, I promise you. Kim Williford's down there again. Bill Mumble, it was right after David Tharp. Well, David's got quite a few comments in there, so if you're talking about the one after heat causes things to expand, the next one I see after his is Ronald Todd, gotta love the fishhook connections. So if it was right after that, that's what's there. There's nothing in between. So, guys, I think that's going to be it. Sorry for all the confusion, but as far as I know, I didn't cause it. It just is one of them deals. Stuff that you put up with when you're doing live shows, I guess. We will see you tomorrow with something else. Thanks for being here.